Today on Live Tech Australia, the Android challenge is finally over. Goodbye. Hey guys, welcome to Live Tech Australia. Today the Android challenge has officially ended in a speedy halt, just like a horrible car crash. And I'm going to give you my verdict. If you haven't seen the original Android challenge video, then just check it out over here. Should be an annotation.
Yeah, we've got
an annotation.
Yeah, we're okay.
Alright, annotation. Check it out. Okay, first off, the pros. First off, the Android hardware rocks. It really whips the butt out of the iPhone hardware. Because obviously there's so many different Android phones out there. You get dual core this, quad core that, this many gigabytes of RAM. Whereas the iPhone, there's pretty much just 3 phones out there on the market. So it really can't compete with this X amount of so many Android phones out there. But I have to say, that's really where Android shines, is the choice that you have and then the hardware that you have. I mean, look how thin this Galaxy Nexus is compared to the iPhone. The iPhone's a real chunker. Even the screen is really bright and it's much bigger. The Nexus has a 4.65-inch screen, which is massive compared to the iPhone. I mean, there's even the Galaxy Note, which is over a 5-inch screen, and it's much bigger. But this has a big screen, and it's really good for things like if you want to take notes, or even games like Draw Something. I absolutely love Draw Something, and using the Galaxy Nexus really helped me with that. You can actually add me and draw something with me. My username is Live Tech Australia. Join us there. So yeah, that's pretty much it about the hardware. Now let's talk about battery life. Battery life is quite good. On the iPhone usually I have Bluetooth turned on, Wi-Fi turned on, 3G turned on, yet I have the brightness of the screen all the way down to the bottom, pretty much because it sucks up a lot of juice with the Retina display. But on the Nexus, I had Wi-Fi turned on, 3G turned on, Bluetooth turned on the whole day, and the brightness full. I wanted it on full because this is a real world test, and who wants to actually have it all the way down to the bottom, and you can't see it in the sunlight. So I had it all the way up to the top, and it did last quite a good amount of time. It lasted the whole day. Yet I found that when I was doing a lot of multitasking, playing games, and the screen was on full brightness, I had all these things running in the background, the battery did seem to warm up a bit, and when you put it in your pocket, it was uncomfortably warm. I wouldn't say it was like iPad 3 hot, like how the media is hyping it up, but it was just uncomfortably warm. Kind of felt like you were urinating down your pants. The UI is great. You have a lot of different choices for widgets. Now, a lot of people who only use iPhones don't even know what widgets are, which is quite sad. Widgets are really awesome. So pretty much I can get clock widgets, weather widgets, any type of widgets you could probably think of, and pretty much put them on my home screen. It's like widgets on the Mac, but pretty much just on your phone, on your home screen. So that's really good. Whereas the iPhone, you pretty much just have apps on the home screen, and that's about it. That's all you have. So it's much more interactive. Again, that's what Android brings to the table. It's meant to be more customizable, so that's why you have all the different widgets and you can do all that sort of stuff. The Android Marketplace or the Android Play Store, sorry, as they've rebranded it, compared to the Apple App Store, it's pretty good. There's a lot of free stuff out there, which is really nice. But then again, there is a lot of junk out there. This is obviously because Google doesn't regulate the apps that come through to the Play Store as much as Apple does. Obviously, Apple, they pretty much check to see that the app does what it says it does in the description, make sure that it doesn't crash and all the bug fixes are worked out, and that it's not a dodgy app. Whereas pretty much Google's just like, hey, you've got an app? Yeah, we'll take it and put it in our Play Store. So I did find that was actually to Google's dismay, if you like, because a lot of apps crashed for me. Even Draw Something crashed a lot for me. Instagram, which is brand new to Android, crashed when I was trying to push pictures out to Facebook. And also we had I had a Sydney radio station app which just didn't work very well. So there is a few issues with apps crashing on Android, which I really haven't experienced on the iPhone. The iPhone is just much more fluid, but then again, you do have Ice Cream Sandwich on the Nexus, and if the Nexus didn't have Ice Cream Sandwich, which is Android's latest operating system, then I think this would really be a rubbish phone. Now, obviously, with the Nexus, or any Android phone really, is integrated into the Google ecosystem. So you've got all the Google apps there. You've got YouTube, you've got Gmail, all the different things. You've got Google Talk, the Messenger, navigation. So you pretty much, if you're living in the Google ecosystem, the Android phones are much better for you. If you're living in the Apple ecosystem, then it's really hard. I found it really difficult to move over. Now, it is possible to do. I mean, even Nathan, our editor here at Live Tech Australia, does it, and he has a very good time doing it. It's very easy for him. I found it a real struggle. And for those people out there, anyone just moving straight from the iPhone to an Android platform who doesn't really have friends to talk to about this sort of thing, and they have to sort of rely on internet forums, it's kind of hard to do, you know. For one thing, calendars didn't sync for me because they were all synced up with iCloud, and you know, it was kind of hard to get it down from iCloud onto the Android phone. Gmail's really good on here. Probably because obviously it's Gmail, so it gets pushed straight to the phone, whereas on the iPhone it takes a while to get pushed to the phone. YouTube is much better on the Android phones because obviously it's a Google phone, whereas the iPhone, not so good. I don't know if that's because it hasn't been updated for years. I don't know if it's because Apple and Google sort of hate each other. Maybe not, but that's pretty much what I have to say about the YouTube app. I did find the Gmail app very useful in that sense that that the emails got pushed straight to the Android device before it even got to the iPhone or even my Mac, which is very handy. There's no unified inbox on the Gmail app, which really sucks. There is the native email app on there, which is separate to the Gmail app, which wasn't very good at all. I just stopped using it. Now let's talk about the camera. The camera on the iPhone is a 5 megapixel camera. This is the iPhone 4, not the 4S. It's 5 megapixel, shoots 720p video, whereas you've got the back camera on the Nexus, which is 5 megapixels as well, and shoots 1080p video. Now the front-facing camera, which I didn't really use, I didn't really see I didn't have any use for it besides Skype, which again, because of the apps, it was really rubbish compared to the iPhone version. I didn't have any use for it. There's no FaceTime, nothing like that. But that is apparently HD, the front-facing camera. The camera on the Nexus is very good. You've got a panorama mode, which is very good. So you can pretty much shoot a panorama just as you would on a DSLR. So you can shoot a nice scenery just like this, and it turns it into one long panorama. Now, it doesn't work very well all the time, but the regular camera app makes up for it because it has an awesome burst rate. If those of you who don't know what burst rate is, when you just keep taking pictures simultaneously, one by one by one by one by one, and just keep clicking the shutter button. So yeah, that's what burst rate is. So it's really good on that sense. Whereas the iPhone, it's much slower. To sum up, the Android phone really isn't that bad, to be honest. I wouldn't mind using it as a secondary phone, but I just find it hard to live in two different ecosystems. You know, having an iPad and a Mac on one ecosystem, then having like my mobile phone on a different ecosystem. I find it hard. Yeah, sure, some people can do it, but just for the average consumer, it's very hard porting over from the iOS Apple ecosystem to the Google ecosystem. Obviously, you're going to get people who say, oh, Android's better, iPhone's better. You know what? It's cliched. Yeah, iPhone just works straight out of the box, and that's what I like, so that's what I'm going to stick with. And I don't really need to do all the fancy things and customizable things which Android is renowned for, so I don't really need all that. Okay guys, thanks for watching. I hope you really enjoyed it. Give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed the Android challenge. And do you want to see any more other different challenges, phone challenges?
Yes, I want a cinnamon challenge, Daniel.
Cinnamon challenge? I don't think that's going to happen unless a lot of people request it, Nathan. But yeah, maybe cinnamon challenge one day. We can start a new trend, chili challenge. I'd like that. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed it. Remember to subscribe. All my social links are in the description below. Hit us up on the Facebook page. Tell us what you think. And yeah, Twitter, we're all there. Check us out. We'll see you later in the next video. Goodbye.